Hello, good afternoon. I am Beth Angell. I am the new dean of the School of Social Work, and I want to welcome you all and to thank you all for being here. Homecoming is such an exciting time of year, and it is such a special pleasure to be able to be together this year. And for me, it's very, very special because it's my first homecoming with you. So I'm so excited to be here with you. We have a full schedule of activities today, but we have planned our schedule to also allow plenty of time for connection, because that's really what homecoming is about, is for connecting with one another, connecting with people that you already know and with people that you don't know, and really building our community together. And so I hope that I'll have a chance to connect with each of you at some point during the day that we're here together. Now, I want to give a special shout out to Sabrina Clark. Sabrina is the president of our alumni board. She's amazing. I got to witness her in action this morning. And to all of our other board members who are present here, and could I ask everyone who is on the board to please stand or wave so that folks know who you are? Now, I know a number of our alumni who are here today are celebrating milestone reunions. And so if you are celebrating a milestone reunion, I want to extend my sincere congratulations to you and to thank you for being here to celebrate this with us. Sabrina will recognize formally all of the milestone reunions later in the program, so stay tuned for that. And now I would like to introduce, it's my pleasure to introduce MSW student Leah Wittenberg, who will come to the podium. Leah? Great.
Thank you, Dean Angell. Good afternoon. My name is Leah Wittenberg, and I'm a second-year MSW student in the Management and Leadership pathway. And I'm so excited to be here with you all today. Coming into this program, I did not have a social work background, and I wasn't sure what to expect from my classes or my field placement at Wayne Center in Detroit. The advice I received from faculty regarding the field internship was to remain open-minded and flexible. So I specifically asked to work with a population with whom I had no prior experience, individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. My time at Wayne Center has been meaningful both educationally and professionally, and I've had the opportunity to engage in research, program management and evaluation, grant writing, intake assessments, supports coordination, quality management, and much more. With regard to classes, I've been fortunate to take a mixture of macro courses and electives in interpersonal practice, because even though I came into the program knowing that I did not want to be a therapist, I enjoyed my Essentials of Interpersonal Practice class much more than I anticipated, and I quickly recognized the importance of having a micro lens alongside a macro perspective. I found that I was easily able to cultivate my class experiences so I had a broad understanding of many topics while also being able to build specific hard and soft skills. While I've thoroughly enjoyed the classes I've taken at the school, I did not expect that my favorite among them would be data visualization applications. Okay, love it. So I had no previous data science experience, and I certainly never thought this would be a skill that I would learn in a social work context, but I've already found it to be extremely beneficial in other classes, in my field placement, and in my job search. With the assistance of Dr. Brian Perrin, I even created an independent study this semester to broaden my understanding of the applications of data consulting in social work. As part of the independent study, I'm co-hosting a data consulting series for social work students so others can gain practical data skills and broaden their career prospects. Something that I've particularly appreciated during my time here is the vast extracurricular opportunities, both within the School of Social Work and in the larger campus community. Within the school specifically, I've been able to plan educational and social events for macro pathway students. I've served as secretary of Student Union, and I've engaged in community organizing with the student organization Payment for Placements. I've also been fortunate to volunteer with the university's Sexual Assault Prevention and Awareness Center's graduate student initiative, GROW, and I recently had the opportunity to co-lead the group. I specifically chose a social work degree as opposed to an MBA or a master's in public administration because of the versatility of the degree, as well as the social justice focus and the holistic lens it offers. However, I did not fully realize all that social work is and can be, whether it's working one-on-one with a client to secure services, analyzing and visualizing data to share with community members, or finding creative ways to diversify revenue streams for a nonprofit organization. I feel lucky to be in a field with such potential for growth. I'm so grateful for the wealth of experiences I've already had through the School of Social Work, and as I look forward to my next steps, I truly appreciate the foundation I've built here. It is now my pleasure to introduce 2010 MSW graduate and president of the Alumni Board of Governors, Sabrina Clark.
That was excellent, Leah. Thank you. All right, good afternoon, everyone. I am Sabrina Clark, and on behalf of the School of Social Work Alumni Board, I bring you greetings. I stand before you today as a beyond proud graduate of the class of spring 2010. As I'm sure many of you can attest, my time at Michigan was highly impactful, and it's a period that I look back upon fondly. For me specifically, I matriculated through the program during what would end up being one of the most challenging periods of my life. My dad's cancer returned around the time that I was accepted into the program. It progressed as I moved through my studies, and he unfortunately passed during my last semester here. Yet, my coursework and my extracurricular activities through the School of Social Work Student Union and the Association for Black Social Workers, those things gave me insight and refuge. With every interaction I had, I learned more about myself, my professional identity, I deepened my commitment to the field, and ultimately, I developed a sense of resilience that has served me exceedingly well over the years. While I started my post-MSW career as a micro-practitioner, a clinician, today I am the proud supervisor of Mecklenburg County Department of Social Services' first ever Child Welfare Policy and Practice Model Team. Thank you. Yeah, we'll give that a root for. Yes, yes, yes. Woo, thank you. Thank you, Carrie. Yes, hey, classmate. But yes, every time I say that, I feel a sense of immense pride. And I know that I owe that in large part to the time that I was here, the experiences that I had, and the perspective that it gave me. And as the current president of our School of Social Work Alumni Board, those experiences continue to add to my perspective. Through the work that we are doing on such endeavors as refining our alumni board processes, expanding the scope of our alumni recognition program, and ultimately finding additional opportunities for the board to be of maximum benefit to the school. Okay? And so the combination of my career, volunteerism, and the experiences that I've had here, they all help me to strive towards the charge that was issued to my class at our commencement ceremony by the keynote speaker over 12 years ago. Find your place between the sun and moon so that you may always land among the stars. I love the response, yes. And so that too is my message to you today, that whatever path it is that we choose, that we land among the stars. And so now let's recognize some of the stars in front of us. We have milestone graduates in the room, as Dean Angell alluded to. So first off, we have celebrating 59 years, and graduates, if you're in the room with us, please stand and be recognized, and all of our attendees, give them a warm round of applause. But we have Bob Robinson with us celebrating 59 years. We are so glad to see you, Bob, and we hope to see you next year for year 60. It's very special. Thank you. Commemorating 50 years, we have Diane Kaplan-Vineker and Vigard Amdahl. Marking 40 years, we have Miss Glandon. We will clap for Miss. Recognizing 20 years is Wendy Acione Juska. And then last, but certainly not least, Matthew Wallach and Aliyah Wasala have achieved their first milestone, reaching their 10-year anniversary this year. And I will say I apologize for any name mispronunciations, but we celebrate you all. Congratulations to all of our milestone graduates. We are now solidly in our lunchtime. We invite you all to continue to partake of our wonderful meal, engage with your fellow classmates. Dean Angell will be back to the podium within the next 20 minutes or so. Thank you.
Hey, hello again. Hello, everyone. I hope you've all been enjoying this time of connecting. I can hear a lot of great conversation bubbling around the room. At our table, we were really just relishing how nice it is to be able to be together and talk together, and remembering that as social workers, human contact, face-to-face human contact is just not possible to replace. So let's just appreciate that for a minute. Isn't that amazing? I also want to share something really wonderful that I learned while I was at the lunch table, which is that we have an alum with us celebrating his 50th year reunion, and that is Vegard Amdahl, who is here from Norway with his family. Vegard, can you stand up and let us acknowledge you? Woo! Congratulations to you and to your whole family. We're so glad you're here, able to celebrate here with us. So last year, as you all know, we celebrated the School of Social Work, the University of Michigan School of Social Work's 100th anniversary. And it's just an incredible honor to join as the dean that will begin our second 100 years. And so it is really a thrill and just an incredible privilege. Now, I know that for many of you, this might be the first time you've been back to campus since the pandemic, since the shutdown. And I don't have to tell any of you that we have been living through times of great change. And so I want to just spend a few minutes just bringing you up to date around things in the school. And I want to begin, first of all, just acknowledging some sad news, which is that we lost a very, very beloved member of our community, both our alumni community and our faculty community, Rosemary Sari, in August. So for those of you who did not know that, Rosemary, as I know you all know, was an alum of the joint program in social work and sociology, and a longtime faculty member in the School of Social Work and also in the Institute for Social Research, and an incredible leader in social work education and in research on child welfare and juvenile justice, and a fierce, passionate advocate of social justice who has influenced so many people, including many of you that I've talked to since I've been here. So let's just have a round of applause to appreciate the memory of Rosemary. I also want to share some happy news of alum and faculty in the school. I learned very recently that one of our alumni and one of our emeritus faculty are both being inducted this year as National Association of Social Work Pioneers. So Richard Allen Hofer is an alum and is going to be inducted as a 2021 pioneer. and Charles Garvin, who I know many of you learned from in his time as a faculty member in our school and learned from his books and from his wisdom, will be inducted as a 2020 inductee to the NASW Pioneers. So let's just congratulate the two of them. And so now what I will do is to give you a brief overview of some highlights of the state of the school before I then turn to a highlight of some of our wonderful mental health intervention researchers. So first of all, just news around our educational programs. In 2020, the school implemented a new MSW curriculum, which features 8 specialized pathways. So this is an incredibly rich, innovative curriculum. And these pathways allow our students to follow a wide range of interests. So it's really a choose your adventure in social work kind of model so that they receive the preparation that they need for a wide range of careers to be innovators and leaders, the leaders and best in our field. We've also started a part-time online MSW program, which we had begun to develop before the pandemic, and as you can imagine, it was very convenient for us that we had already begun to do that when we were forced to become online 24/7. So it was very, very timely that we could put this good work and development to use that we gained during the pandemic. Our online program is distinct from some of the other online programs in the country by the fact that our same esteemed faculty that teach in our residential program also teach in the online program. So it's really a one program offered in multiple format kind of model. And it allows students who are anywhere in the United States or regardless of geographic location to receive a Michigan social work education. And given the success of this program, even just in a very short time, we're already planning to extend it to a full-time online MSW program. Now, as I think you probably already know and are very proud of, we continue to be a #1 ranked School of Social Work in the nation according to U.S. News and World Report rankings. And we have held, yes. And we have held this ranking for a decade. So that is huge, and it reflects the school's academic rigor and the breadth and innovation of our teaching and our research. I want to share with you some stats on our 2022 fall incoming class. Our enrollment is robust, so we have nearly 400 new residential MSW students and over 60 in our online program. So a large class, lots and lots of interest and demand. We have international students from 21 countries, including Canada, China, Germany, Japan, Saudi Arabia, South Korea, and Taiwan. And 45% of our students in our MSW program, across both on-campus and online, are the first in their family to attend graduate school. And as a first-generation college graduate, this means a great deal to me, and I know to you as well. Now, keeping up with all of this activity and demand is our wonderful Office of Field Education. I've seen a couple folks from the Office of Field Education here, so can you raise your hands so we can recognize you? I saw Stacy here for a little bit, so yeah, okay. And they have been cultivating and nurturing relationships with over 550 fieldwork sites. While these are primarily, of course, in Southeast Michigan, as in the past, we've been actively recruiting new field instructors and new field sites from around the country in order to create field placements for our online students. And so we're always happy to hear from those of you who have connections in places where we might be able to set up our students with a wonderful learning experience. Now, like other health professional programs at U of M, and I would include here medicine, pharmacy, nursing, our MSW students, by and large, are not paid as part of their field experience. We always have a handful of field stipends for some of our placements, but generally our students are not paid. And currently, students are required to complete 900 hours of field education, which they do while juggling a lot of other academic and personal commitments. And this is a huge financial burden on our students, and it's an equity issue because the very students we need in the social work profession may be the ones who struggle the most to fit field and other responsibilities in at the same time. And this is something our students are very, very concerned about. Last spring, the school formed a joint task force with students, faculty, and staff to explore ways to improve funding for students during their field education. And this task force included students who were part of what you may have heard referred to as the Payment for Placements Student Initiative. That's a student organization and initiative that's really becoming prominent nationwide and started here among our students. One of the accomplishments of this joint task force was the support of legislation to pay MSW students in public school settings for their field education. And this was signed into law by Governor Whitmer in July. So, and we hope that soon, those will materialize into stipends that are awarded actively to students. So as you know, things like this take a while to churn through the bureaucracy. And so we're very, very proud of that. These student efforts also resulted in the development of a new philanthropic fund, the School of Social Work Field Fund, which is a fundraising campaign specifically designed to support the development of field stipends. And during the month of August alone, we raised $16,000 to support students with the most financial need, which was wonderful. So thank you to all of you who saw our crowdfunding campaign and contributed to that. Our continuing education programs have been growing by leaps and bounds, and I want to shout out to Aaliyah, who's over there, our Director of Continuing Education, and also celebrating her 10-year anniversary, so congratulations, Aaliyah. And I'll just lift up that we have 3 new certificate programs that focus on dismantling oppression, one on accessible design, and one on sports social work. We have a really cool focus on sports and social work in the school, and so we have a new certificate program in that area. And you can learn about these as well as our other continuing education programs on our website. Our work in community engagement and diversity, equity, and inclusion continues. The school recently drafted a new anti-racism statement, which includes a plan for accountability. And right now, we're soliciting feedback from our students, faculty, and staff on this plan. I'm pleased also to share with you that the school has just launched a search for 2 new faculty positions, which will focus on advancing anti-racism through arts-based social work practice, arts leadership, and community engagement. We were awarded this support together with the University of Michigan School of Music, Theater, and Dance from the Provost's office as part of the University of Michigan's diversity cluster hiring initiative. So we're really, really excited because this is going to allow us to build capacity in arts-based social work practice, which is an emerging and cutting-edge area of social work, and to create stronger, more impactful partnerships across the university. So we're really, really excited about this initiative. So these are just a few of the highlights of things that are going on in the school. And I'm going to shift gears now because I am very, very pleased to highlight some of our mental health expertise today with a specific focus on technology and interactivity. As many of you already know, if you read the ongoing magazine article that introduced me to the school, mental health is an area of social work that is especially meaningful to me personally and professionally. I grew up in a family very profoundly impacted by serious mental illness, and I lost my mother to suicide at a young age. In my own professional career as a social worker, I focused on mental health services for adults whose disability resulted in homelessness, often criminal legal involvement, social exclusion, and a variety of other negative impacts. And as social workers, a deeply held value for us is to provide treatment and resources to those who are the most vulnerable and marginalized in society. As you hear about the projects that we're going to highlight today, you'll see that our faculty in the University of Michigan School of Social Work are remaining true to those values. They're developing innovative new interventions to address mental health needs in underserved communities, places where resources are often lacking. For example, people in rural communities who don't have access to mental health care, for children who are struggling with depression while battling a cancer diagnosis, and for young adults who have autism and are aiming to find sustainable employment and to be included in the community. What is also very distinctive, as you'll see today, is our use of technology to make mental health interventions more attainable for those who don't have access to them. Because even the most effective treatment is not going to be very effective. It's not going to meet the mark if the people who need it cannot access it due to where they live or because they lack the resources. And with that, I'm very excited to showcase the work of three of our wonderful faculty, Addie Weaver, Anal Zhang, and Matt Smith. Each of these faculty members are developing technological interventions that support mental health and inclusion. And to give you an introduction to their work, I'd like to take just a moment to watch the following videos as a precursor to the Mental Health Intervention Expo that will follow the formal portion of today's program. So with that, I will.
So my name is Anal Zhang. I am an assistant professor here at the University of Michigan School of Social Work. I'm also the clinical research director at the Adolescent and Young Adult Oncology program at University of Michigan Health. So my research really focuses on the intersectionality of mental health and cancer, and we look at how they interact with each other and how we can support individuals who are diagnosed with cancer. Technology is really at the core of my research because for us to have the outreach to the cancer patients, we need technology to streamline a lot of the services. So we created this platform called Entertain Me Well, which utilizes an animated character whose name is Billy, and she's a balloon. Billy exists in this virtual space and shares with the users about her experience dealing with depression. And use this retrospective storyline, Billy interacts with the users so that the user will learn from Billy to overcome their own depression. Kids diagnosed with cancer often face significant mental health disparities. One, due to the lack of resources, such as financial resources, no access to mental health providers because there are residential areas, especially in rural areas. My dream is to create an efficacious mental health intervention that can be easily accessible for all kids who are diagnosed with cancer who are in need of that mental health intervention.
I'm Matthew Smith. I'm a professor of social work here at the University of Michigan. When we're trying to leverage technology to help individuals with serious mental illness or young adults with autism, individuals returning to the community from prison, what we're trying to do is provide them with an accessible opportunity to prepare for job interviews. And we're going to do, and we're doing that by evaluating a virtual reality job interview training tool that lives online. It's similar to kind of a Zoom meeting. That's what you see when you're using the tool. You kind of log into a website, and instead of kind of role-playing with a actual person, it's a virtual hiring manager. It's actually an actor or actress that recited thousands of lines of dialogue, and we use a computer algorithm to splice it together. And then they get feedback during that process. And so one thing that's really great about this type of technology is that you can literally log into this interface from any computer that has internet access. And that's one of the great things about this technology is that it's really what we call scalable. You can bring it out into the community. We've done this work in more than 60 schools where we've evaluated whether this tool has contributed to improved competitive employment rates. We've brought this tool to mental health service providers where we see that it helps adults with serious mental illness gain access to employment after practicing these skills. And we've brought this tool into 2 prisons. In the prisons, you can't really use the internet. So we do load it on the computers, but it's still a really great technology to use. Since we've been studying this tool, when I've presented our results to the community, inevitably everybody's interested in job interview skills, but what they ask for is we need help improving the skills needed to sustain employment. Those soft skills that folks use when they talk to customers or coworkers or supervisors. And we recently, over the last 2 years, just developed a new tool that we call Work Chat, a virtual workday, where folks get to practice those exact things. They get to practice with 3 different virtual customers. They get to have a coffee break type conversation with a coworker, and then they get feedback on their day from a supervisor at the end. And what's really neat about that technology is, depending on how you engage with the customers or your coworker, the supervisor is going to be aware of all the choices you made through the day, and that actually informs that conversation. So it's pretty neat, and we're just starting that tool up, and over the next 10 years, we're really hoping to figure out if this type of tool can help sustain jobs, help people keep their job, help folks work more hours and increase their wages.
Hi, my name is Addie Weaver. I'm an associate professor of social work here at the University of Michigan School of Social Work. So my research really focuses on getting mental health care to people who need it and typically aren't able to get it. So my work really focuses on rural settings, and people in rural communities tend to have high rates of mental health needs, but have a really hard time finding available care that's accessible to them, or care that really meets their needs or what they're looking for. So through the research that I've been doing with my team here at the School of Social Work, we've really focused on working directly with people living in rural areas and leveraging technology so that we're able to bring mental health care to these communities in a way that meets their needs and builds on existing capacity. One thing that we've been working on is how we can create a technology-assisted or computer-based program in a way that is fun and engaging for people. A lot of times mental health treatment can be pretty academic, text-heavy, and honestly a little bit boring. So people then don't follow through and aren't able to improve the way that we would hope that they would. So what we've done here at the School of Social Work is create a new innovation called Entertain Me Well that provides mental health treatment in a way that is more fun. So we introduce a character, and it's basically like folks are watching a piece of a Netflix show while they're getting their mental health treatment. So they follow a character, see how that character has experienced, in this case, depression in their life, and how they use tools from mental health treatment to feel better. So there have been a couple really exciting ways that our computer program, the Entertain Me Well, has allowed us to work with people and get mental health care into different places in the community where you might not otherwise see it. So we have been able to work with rural places to deliver Entertain Me Well in church settings, for example. So we have worked with clergy so that they can support people in their community who have low mood or have been experiencing depression by coming together and using our treatment. We've also been able to work with people in WIC clinics that are serving pregnant and postpartum women and their children, and again, in a non-stigmatizing way, be able to offer our program called Moms and Babies Feeling Better Together to help their clients access a resource that maybe otherwise wouldn't be available, or they might not be able to access easily during a very busy time in their life.
Well, I hope that this has whetted your appetite for the Mental Health Expo today, because I think what this demonstrates is that we have so much innovation happening right here in this building. And today, we're really, really excited because all 3 of these faculty members, are they still in the room here, or did they go downstairs? Okay, they're already downstairs ready for you. They have a booth set up, and so you will actually get to talk with them about these interventions, and they will demonstrate the programs to you. So it's going to be really cool. At the same time that this is happening, so I want to just make sure you know about all of your options. We also are offering a tour of our art collection. So the School of Social Work is home not just to research innovation, of course, but as I mentioned before, we're very interested in the arts, and we have a really, really impressive art collection. Nikki Williams, who I'm pointing to in the back there, this is Nikki. Nikki is our multimedia designer and art collection curator in the school, and he is going to lead a tour of the social justice art collection. The art tour will take about 45 minutes, and you're welcome, if you want to do both, the Mental Health Expo and the art tour, you're in luck, because you can go on the art tour, which will take about 45 minutes, and then you can join the Mental Health Expo. But you also have the option, perhaps if you've toured our art before and you would prefer to go directly to the Mental Health Expo, that is also an option as well. It will run from 1:45 until 3:00 p.m. And then at 3:00 p.m., I hope you'll all come back, because we're going to have an ice cream social to round out our day, and we've invited students to join us. So it's going to be really fun. So look forward to spending the afternoon together, learning, connecting, and of course, eating ice cream. So thank you, everyone.